See me, yo, I'ma teach you how to build up wealth for your family, not just for yourself. I'm a bestseller, a house flipper, a businesswoman, a go-getter, a big investor, a goal builder that could teach you to get richer like millions, baby. You really about to fill your savings. You about to have multiple streams to pass your children, baby. Let me teach you to get your credit on track in the long run. You'll make it all back at Catalyst and watch it all psychology black on firm, but we ain't all black.
What's up? Happy what? Hump day, everybody. What's going on? It's your girl, Constance Carter, and this is the Grow Your Money podcast, where I show you how to grow your money and not blow your money. And today, I'm really going to show you how to grow your money and not blow your money, because we're going to talk about credit. We're going to talk about your credit. We're going to talk about your credit. You ever heard some old country black people say credit with a CK? That's what my parents, not my parents, but they old country friends be saying credit. So as you come on in, good morning, family. You know I always love when y'all come and put in. I love these shades right here. I think I'll be looking cute in these shades, even though I can't see a damn thing because I need my glasses. How I look in these shades? Look fresh. So what's up, everybody? Today is hump day. Today is also woke Wednesday, and today we're going to be talking about credit. So this is going to be a live Q&A all about your credit. Today is really going to be one of the days where it is a dialogue and not at all a monologue. Okay, so I have some credit. If you got some credit questions, today is the day to ask me these credit questions. Okay. I don't know if you know anything about me, but I am a certified credit expert. What does that mean? I took tons of trainings. I took tons of classes around credit. So I know credit, and it's one of those things that I'm extremely, extremely passionate about. I actually have books about credit. I have several books where I talk about credit. One of them happens to be a bestseller. It's called Keeping Score: What You Need to Know to Make Your Credit Score Grow. Did that just kind of my light? Okay, that just kind of did something to my light. So credit is my zhuzh. I absolutely love credit. And I love what it does for people and how it helps enhance people's lives. So we're going to talk about that today. But before we do that, we got some housekeeping, y'all. If you come on here every day, you already know what I want to talk about. You know what I want from you, good people. I want to know where you're watching from. So where are you? I need you to put in the comments, because again, this is a dialogue and not a monologue. And I know we have people that watch from all over the world. So where are you watching from today? Okay. That's the first thing I want to know. Okay. All right. Okay. What's up, Booker from Fort Worth, Texas? And I appreciate you being on here on time and everything. Thank you. Who else we got on here? Jahari, who else is on here? I know I think I saw Sophia. She already put her stuff in there. She already know. From Stockton, California. Who else? There we go. Who else do we have on here? And then while you are doing that, while you wiping the sleep and the eye boogers out your eyes, because I know in some areas it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Over here on the East Coast, it's 11 a.m. What's up, Karen from the Bronx? Put in the comments. Also, we love to support Black-owned businesses, because that is what is important. Okay. What's up, Margaret from Frederick? You up the street. You ain't too far from me. In order for us to close the wealth gap, what's up, Royal from Compton? We're going to have to work together. So if you are a Black-owned business, or even if you know of a Black-owned business, make sure you put it in the comments, because we want to shout you out and we want to celebrate you and we want to be able to do business with you. So you know what? I never do is I never put one of my Black-owned businesses, and I'm going to put it on. I'm gonna put Catalyst Real Estate Professionals. There we go. I still got this finger. Catalyst Real Estate Professionals is I transitioned it, closed it down for a couple of years. So now we're building it back up. But I built the largest Black-owned real estate firm in California, and we work all over California. Move that banner right there. We work all over California and DC and Maryland and Virginia. So if you are in those areas, DC, Maryland, Virginia, California, guess what? Catalyst Real Estate Professionals can actually represent you in the purchase or the sale of your home. We also have Carter Financial Solutions, which is the mortgage company of Catalyst Real Estate Professionals. So what we do is we do mortgages, we do real estate, we do it all. We're a one-stop shop, and we do everything. Why do we do everything? We do everything so that we can provide you the best service, right? So we know if we do the loans inside Catalyst Real Estate, we're not trying to get rich on the loan. So then therefore we pass our savings off to our clients, right? Because we don't got to get rich on the loans like a lot of these loan brokers do. They charge you. You guys don't know. But a lot of loan brokers, they charge you more because that's their only source of income. We make money elsewhere, so we're able to actually charge less on the back end, which actually translates to more on the front end for you. And that's the savings that we have for our people. So we have a loan company, Carter Financial Solutions, which is CFS, and we also have Catalyst Real Estate Professionals. That's my Black-owned business. Yay! It's my first time actually talking about my Black-owned business, but it's Black-owned. Right now, it's Black only too. But it's not only for Black people, but we in the past we were Black owned but not Black only. We had some of everybody working for us, but as we've opened back up, I think 100% of our agents are Black. I think we got about 20 30 agents right now that are on the roster, and but we work all over the state of California. All right. What about you? What are some? Okay, let's shout out to Sunshine Diaz. Sunshine Diaz has Victory Village, and I want every single day I want to put you up there, Sunshine, because I want to make sure that we are supporting your Black-owned business. I'm so proud of you, lady. I am so proud of you that you're out there doing your thing. You said, did you say Oklahoma or did you say Seattle? Was that Oklahoma? I think she said Oklahoma. Sorry. So I'm so proud of you for doing your thing out there. Please put what city and state. And I know you said that you also travel as well. So make sure you put that in the comments as well. All right. Oh, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Okay. All right. All right. Bet. That's who it was. It was Lovely JR. That's from Seattle. See, you guys, the people who come on here every day. Shout out to Lovely JR. I appreciate you. I just kind of got you mixed up. So thank you. Thank you for putting your Black-owned business. Thank you for shouting out where you're from. Also, make sure you share and subscribe to my channel. Okay. Subscribe to I Am Constance Carter. Follow me everywhere. All right. Now, if you have some credit questions, I want to be able to answer them live. Okay. If you have credit questions, I want to be able to answer them live. So as you're formulating in your mind what your credit questions are, I'm going to talk a little bit something about credit, just based upon things I have in my book. Now, my bookkeeping score is one of the easiest reads. I don't know if you've ever read it, but this is a great book. These books ain't making me rich, but what they are is they're resources that is providing you with the most up-to-date information about what you can do about your credit. And the great thing about it is you need credit in order to build wealth, because wealthy people don't use their own money when building wealth. They use what? OPM. What's OPM, y'all? Other people's money. And so I want to make sure that you are positioned to use other people's money, because the way we close a wealth gap is through three things. It's through real estate investment, is through investing in ourselves, and investing in our businesses. Okay. So if you want to invest in your business, and I'm going to talk about business credit as well. In order to grow and scale your business credit is necessary. All right. So you're not bootstrapping everything. Thank you, Sophie. It's other people's money. And so if you can walk away with some level of more information than what you came with today, that's what I want. Okay. So you guys know credit is power. Whether you're looking to buy a home, start a business, or secure funding, your credit score can be the determining factor whether a door is open for you or not. Okay. So I want to break down some myths. I want to answer your questions. I want to break down some myths about what credit is. Okay. So like I said, before we start, let's hit the subscribe button to make sure that you don't miss no episodes. Make sure you're sharing this with your friends, because here's the thing about building wealth. If we want to really secure our communities, it's important, it's imperative that we're working together, that we're sharing this information with our friends and our family so that they can know too. That is extremely important. So share this with all your people. Okay. Tell them, come on. Get this link, click the link right there and go send it out. Text this link to everybody on your phone list and tell them to hop on here, because they might have questions, and we're going to cover a lot of really good stuff. Okay. So let's start with some of the biggest credit myths that I hear. Okay. So let's talk about carrying a balance to build credit. Okay. So a lot of people think that if you pay a credit card to zero, that it actually increases your credit score. Actually, paying your credit card to zero actually does not always increase your credit score. It actually could drop your credit score. Why? Because utilization is stimulation. Now, let me do something real quick. which I didn't have yet, but I want to show you this credit pie because this is extremely important. When I learned about the credit pie, this was a game changer for me. And it's going to be a little bit dirty. Okay, actually, I'm gonna run it hot, as they say in Hollywood productions. I'm gonna run this hot. So let me just show you the credit pie because I think this is extremely important if you really want to understand your credit. Okay, so look at this pie. When I learned about this pie, this is what was mind blowing for me. This was so monumental for me when I really understood how your credit is broken down. And this is the reason why different credit scores vary based upon what's happening with their credit. So you have 35% of your credit is how you make your payments. So if you're paying on time, you good. If you're not paying on time, you're not good. Okay. So if you're paying on time, that's 35% of your credit pie. You would think a payment history would be 80%, right? Because it's how you make your payments. But 30% of it, this is the thing that blew my mind when I really first learned about it, is amount you owe on not just anything, but on your revolving credit. Now, does anybody know what revolving credit is? Does anybody know? That's your credit card. So 35% of your credit is based upon how you make your payments. 30% of your credit is based upon how you pay your credit cards. Oh my God. So you mean to tell me not how I pay my credit cards, the balance owed on my credit cards. So you mean to tell me if I pay my credit cards down, my credit score will go up? Yes. That's the quickest way you can go up and the quickest way you can go down. Now, your payment history is your payment history. Sometimes you can get things removed if you're late, and sometimes you can't. But one of the things that you really can control is your credit card balance. That's the reason why you see your credit moving every month. Monthly payments on time, yes, but that's the reason why you see things moving so much, right? Because when your credit card balances are high, that then brings your credit score low. So people often say, "Oh my God, I didn't do anything wrong. Why has my credit decreased?" Well, you may have went up a little bit on your credit card balances, or you may have even paid it to zero, which again, sometimes zero, and I'm going to tell you about that in a little bit. Sometimes paying it to zero could actually hurt your credit score because again, you having a balance is the stimulation for your credit. Okay. So utilization, that's what I want to say, is stimulation for your credit. Now, 15%, that's another big chunk, is the length. How long have you had that credit? How long have you had that credit? So let me give you an example. I used to work with a lot of pastors. Some pastors have really, really good credit. Some pastors have really, really bad credit. So there was a pastor that had his credit score was damn near 850. And then I always tell people, never, ever, 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 ever close an old card. He had this card that was 20 years old. 20 years old. He ended up closing it because he's like, I don't use it. It has high interest. Well, what he could have done was called the credit card company and said, hey, I want you to reduce the interest on this. But what he did is he closed this old credit card that he had for 20 years. And that dropped his score significantly. Why? Because the age of your credit is 15% of your entire credit picture. And then that 10%, when it talks about new credit, that's actually credit inquiries. Okay. So every time somebody inquires about your credit, it can affect your score by 10%. Now, here's the thing that a lot of people get confused when we're talking about credit inquiries is they're saying, they say that credit inquiries could actually drop their score. My mind just went blank. When they say credit inquiries drop their score. Now, here's the thing about a credit inquiry. Like somebody will say, oh, I just went to another lender and they pulled my credit and my credit dropped 40 points. That's not possible because it's only 10% of your credit score. Okay. So your inquiries are not a major, huge factor. However, if you have too many inquiries, it can definitely negatively impact your credit score. And then the last 10% is the mix use of your credit. So what types of credit are you doing? What kind of credit do you have? So do you have revolving credit? Do you have installment credit? Do you have, what kind of credit do you have? So do you have student loans? Do you have mortgage? So if you have a good mixture, that affects your credit score, that impacts your credit score, whether positively or negatively. Okay. So that is how your credit is measured. So one of the biggest things that you need to do is to make sure, number one, you're paying on time. But number two, you're making sure your balances on your credit cards are low. That is extremely important. So those, if I could just walk away right now and say, boom, drop the mic, I'm out of here, we done. Those are the two things I want you to walk away with. Make sure you pay your credit card on time. Make sure you pay all your bills on time, and make sure you keep your credit card balances low. Let me give you an example. I had this lady. She went to my church, and I was doing her credit. She wanted to buy a house. Looked at her credit. When I'm looking at your credit, because I'm a credit expert, my eyes look a little bit differently. I don't go straight to the score. I go to the credit, the breadth of the credit. I go to the credit. Like, I want to look at your credit and see how it is, right? So I'm looking at her credit, and I'm like, yo, she has some great accounts. She's had some lengthy accounts. She's had all this stuff, but her credit score is in the 400s. So I'm like, the hell? Well, she's had all of these late payments on these credit cards. And when I tell you, I was so pissed off at this lady because her credit card balances, her credit cards were like these $500 credit cards, $200 credit cards, and her payments were $25 a month. And I was like, why didn't you pay these $25? Like this right here, because when I ran the simulator, so I have access to a simulator, right? That tells me, and this is not like the Credit Karma has a simulator. It's not going to be the same because Credit Karma credit scores are not real fake FICO credit scores. They're Vantage credit scores, which we don't use in the mortgage industry. But when I used my credit simulator, and it said that had she not been late and over, she was over the amount on those credit cards, right? So her being over the limit of these $200 credit cards, she might have been at $300. So she was over the limit. She was late. And so her balances were high. If she would have been on time on these $25 credit cards, she would have had 300 extra points. So she would have actually been in the 700 club had she paid these small credit cards on time. And I kid you not, when I said to her, what in the world is going on? You know what she said to me? She said, Constance, I don't know. I didn't know I had to pay it on time. I was just out here living my best life. That's what she said to me. And if you watch me right now, you know who you are. She said, I was just out here living my best life. I didn't know I needed to pay them on time. I was paying them when I wanted to, right? She might have been paying them on day 32, maybe day 40, whatever, but she just was not paying them on time. So her credit score was affected by over 300 points on her by her these $25 payments. So whatever you do, here's a tip: make sure that you always, at least at minimum, pay the minimum on a credit card. So if you have that, so here's what I do on my credit cards, right? So I'm always going to pay more. You always want to try to pay more, but maybe perhaps you might forget. What if you land in the hospital? What if something happens? Have at least that minimum payment automatically coming out. So every month I'm always going to pay a little bit more. And then my credit card companies ask me, do you still want to pay this payment on the 6th? Yeah, still go ahead and pay that minimum payment on the 6th, but I'm going to make sure I pay more. So always have something set up automatically in the event that you forget. It happened to my dad. My dad's sister died, and he was with Bank of America for 100,000 years. And so he ended up being late, and they ended up dropping his score, of course. And so he called and he said, can you give me a courtesy late removal? Because that's what you can do. That's one of the things you can do. Can you give me a courtesy late removal? Because I've been with Bank of America this long. And they said no. And I said, what? Let me call. So I called. I said, and he said, well, let me talk. Then if they don't do it, then you can talk, Nisi. Because my dad's so meek. He just, so we get on the phone, and I told him, I said, tell him your sister died. Tell him you've been with Bank of America for 25,000 years, and ask him to give you a courtesy late removal. And when he said that, that's when they did give him a courtesy late removal. So he had to actually, there's certain things that you have to say. But if you haven't had any, history of being late, a lot of times these banks will do courtesy late removals on things if you happen to be late on accident. Okay. So I got so much more. I got so much more. what I was supposed to do in the beginning is this is woke Wednesday. This is Wednesday. I was supposed to give you my woke wealth minute. Because remember, I want you to stay woke. What is woke? Woke is staying wealthy, outstanding, knowledgeable, and empowered. Remember, we always want to stay woke. We're taking the word woke back because these motherfuckers then took our word that we are telling each other to stay aware, and they have bastardized it, and they think that woke is trans. They think woke is liberalism, and woke is us. We've been saying this word since the 30s, and so now we're taking our word back. We even have Stay Woke t-shirts. We have a Stay Woke group on Facebook because we ain't gonna let them take our word and bastardize it in the way that they've done. But here's our woke tip for today. Welcome to the Woke Minute. It's your girl, Constance Carter. This is where we will drop quick tips to build wealth, seize opportunity, gain knowledge, and empower your legacy. Your network is your net worth. Who's in your circle? Your next opportunity is one connection away. Join groups like Net 7 Collective, attend conferences, networks, training. The right circle is going to open doors that money can't. Relationships will take you to places that money can't. And remember, if you're the smartest person in your circle, you're in the wrong one. Now stay ready so you never have to get ready. That's your woke minute, because when you stay woke, you stay wealthy. Yeah, let's go. Welcome to the woke. Oh, that's what happened. I still had you on the there we go. When you stay woke, you stay wealthy. But that is so important. I really want to emphasize that your network is your net worth. There's so many instances where I've gotten things just by virtue. And this is the reason, y'all, if you guys don't believe in college can be a scam for a lot, right? So one of the reasons why I always tell my kids, because if they're not going to school to be a doctor or a lawyer, which my oldest son is, he wants to go to law school, but being your network, I send my kids to, yes, stay woke. I send my kids to college so that they can get that network, so that they can grow up. I've had so many instances where my relationships have taken me places that money can't. And I'm gonna give you as an example. I moved out here 2 years ago, and I was looking for a place. I wanted to be in a certain area. This is the God and his magnificence. I wanted to be in a certain area. And so I couldn't find, there was nothing that came available in this area that I really, really wanted to be in. So I'm looking everywhere else, and I'm getting rejected. I got great credit. They're offering me the offers are just crazy, well over asking. And I'm just really, really, really trying at this point, because I had given up in this area that I really wanted to live in. And so I came out to see a property. One day I used to take the red eye like every other week. Well, I would come out here in the middle of the night. And so I was coming to see another property, and this other property that I just moved out of just came on the market. And anyway, I knew the owner of the company that had the listing. He's my friend. He has over 700 agents. Good friend of mine. In fact, he sold me the other property out here. And so anyway, by 12 o'clock, I was in contract on this property. This was my property. And one of the things that the agent who was listing the property said is that the reason why you got this property is because your relationship with Emmerich Peace. I don't know if you guys know a guy named Emmerich Peace. He said relationships will take you places. He said, no, this is what he said. This African guy. Emmerich always told me that relationships will take you places that money can't. And that is the God's honest truth. I've been able to get in certain circles and certain things, get access to certain things just by virtue of my relationships. And how did I get those relationships? I got those relationships by going to conferences and going to trainings. I met Emmerich Peace 15 years ago at a conference. And good friend of mine has gotten me into a lot of different opportunities here in the DMV, but this is just by virtue of networking. Why am I telling you this? These are great. Being online is great, but getting in the room is even greater. So go to conferences. Dr. Boyce Watkins is having the All Black National Convention in August. Go to that. I'll be speaking at that. I think we're going to be doing a Black Wealth Boot Camp in May. I'll be speaking at that. That's in Miami. Go to that. We're going to be doing the Power Networking Conference, Dr. George Fraser, one of my mentors. I'll be speaking at that. I'm on the faculty of that. Go to that. Go to conferences and get in front of people and network. People see me on here and they think that I'm this outgoing person. I'm really, really an introvert. So I like to be in the corner. I don't like to say a whole lot. Just got to do my thing. But I network by necessity because I understand the value of relationships. So I just had to say that, because getting into these groups and these programs, Net 7 Collective is an awesome, awesome program where you will have instant access to brilliance from all. You got my good girlfriend Tiara. She's a Hollywood producer. You have Marlo. She's a TV producer. We have entertainers in there. We got mothers of entertainers in there. We got a mother of an actress on a primetime television show in there. We got another mother of one of the biggest Grammy Award winners right now. Yes, we got doctors and lawyers. We have people who work in HR. We have all kinds of people. So if you're inside the Net 7 Collective, you have instant access to this beautiful group of women who have just this large reach, that not only just has this large reach, but they're willing to share it with you. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. We actually have a meeting right now. That's why I have my Net 7 shirt on. We wear am I frozen? We wear our Net 7 Collective shirts on Wednesday. So I have my Net 7 shirt on because we have our meeting every Wednesday night. So your network is your net worth. Tell me the closest 3 people that you hang around with, and I'll tell you all about you. This is what I tell my kids all the time. Okay. So let's get back to credit. Now, how do I raise my credit score? I told you, focus on these 3 things. Okay. Pay down your credit card balances, remove errors. You can do pay for deletes. Remember, I just told you. Here's the thing. I think it was 53% of all credit reports had errors on them. 53% of credit reports had errors on them. So there are a lot of you are walking around with errors on your credit report. Now, how many of you monitor your credit every single day? Well, maybe not every day. Maybe you monitor them every month. Make sure that you are connected with some type of monitoring system. Okay. So if you need to get on Credit Karma, I love Credit Karma. I talk about Credit Karma here in this. I love Credit Karma's platform, but they have fake credit scores. We call them FACO scores, not FICO scores. They're Vantage scores, but we don't use them in the mortgage industry. I love how Credit Karma sets your credit up, how you can view your credit. There are so many things. There's so many tools inside Credit Karma that you could actually use that will help you to reduce your outgoing spending, what you're paying in compound interest, all those things. That's what I love about Credit Karma. Okay. So make sure you're monitoring your credit. Okay. You could become an authorized user on somebody's account. Say you don't have the credit. Maybe you don't have a credit card. Remember, credit cards are the quickest way that you can go up, quickest way you can go down, quickest way you can go down. So what does that mean? Maybe you don't have a credit card, but maybe you have access to an authorized user. Well, who's an authorized user? Might be your mama, might be your cousin, might be your auntie. It could be anybody. But if you have access to somebody else's credit card, tell them to put you on their credit card. They don't got to give you a copy of the credit card, but put you on the credit card. And just as easy as they were able to put you on the credit card, go ahead and ask me a question. They could take you off the credit card. So in the event that you're going to get all the good credit, but you're going to get all the bad credit too. So say they start messing up on their credit. Guess what? That can negatively impact you as well. So I had a good girlfriend, a real good girlfriend. She had came to me and she wanted to increase her credit score. And I said, okay, you need to get on somebody's credit. Maybe your mama's as an authorized user. So a few months later, she goes, hey, Constance, I'm ready. I was like, yay! So I go pull her credit. Her credit score dropped another 60 points. I was like, the hell happened? I looked at the credit report and she had added her mom's credit card as an authorized user. Well, her mom's credit was messed up. So it ended up negatively impacting her credit. So there's 3 things that you need to think about when you are adding someone when someone's adding you as an authorized user. You need to make sure, see what that credit card look like. Okay. It should be a lengthy one. It should be at least over 2 years. That's number 1. Number 2 is it should be low balance. Okay. And number 3, there should be absolutely no late on that credit card. Okay. So Credit Karma, so she asked if Credit Karma, put that back up. This Life with Rita T said, does Credit Karma report you to the bureaus? Actually, Credit Karma pulls from the bureaus. So that's where they actually get your credit from. They're getting your credit from the three bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. So they're actually pulling from the bureaus to report the credit to you. So yes, so they don't report to the bureaus. They're pulling the information from the bureaus. Okay. Got it? Get it? Got it? Good. Now, while you guys on here, make sure that you're sharing this with all your friends, all your family. Take this link if you're in YouTube and send it over to your friends and tell them, come over, come on, watch this. Because I'm giving out some good information right now, okay? This credit really, it could change your life. The only thing I knew about credit when I was growing up is that it was ruining our lives. Let me ask you a question. How many of you had issues with credit or understood credit growing up? Because most of us don't. How many of you understood the value of credit? I'll say that. How many of you understood the value of credit when you were growing up? Because for me, I didn't know what it was. I just knew it was ruining our lives and I would never have bad credit. But I never understood. I didn't never, when I got grown, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have good credit, which I did for a little bit. But then the more money I made, the more I spent. And then the more I spent, then I got into this inevitable cycle and I ended up filing bankruptcy. And it dropped my credit score down to a 379. I have never seen anybody's. I did see one guy. He passed away. He used to be my tenant. His credit score was low like that. That was the only one that I seen with low credit like that. And he did exactly to me what his credit sitting was going to do. He ended up tearing up my house and not paying for a couple of months at the end. But you got to look at credit. So my credit score dropped 379 to 379. Did you know? The life said, I was taught not to get credit cards and always pay my bill on time. That is the absolute worst advice that you can get. Actually, what other credit advice did you get? And let's talk about that, because I want to see if people gave you good credit advice or bad credit advice. I love that. I was taught not to get credit cards and always pay my bills on time. Pay my bills on time? Yes. Don't get credit cards? No. That is the absolute worst thing that you could ever do, because your credit card is what's going to stimulate your credit score. That's 30% of your credit picture. So the Bible teaches, and a lot of church going folks teach that don't get credit. Don't owe Caesar, pay Caesar what is his. And then they'll have these credit cutting parties, and they be shouting and they be cutting up credit cards and all that. And now you ain't got no credit. I had some clients that came to me and they were ready to buy. They had one of them sessions and they had absolutely no credit, and they had to wait at least 6 months, or I'm not sure if they waited 6 months or a year before they were able to get into a house, because now they had to have credit. They had to establish themselves. So, they were older people, so they ain't had no mama that credit card that they can get onto to become an authorized user. And they had no one. This was a couple, but they had to wait a little bit, or anyone that they probably trusted enough to get on their credit card as an authorized user. So they had to do it. These were two ministers, actually. And that actually is the worst thing that you could do, is not have any kind of credit cards. Get a credit card. Use it. Just don't abuse it. Have self-control. Okay. Let me see. Nicole said, don't co-sign for nobody. Yes. That's the truth. Actually, that's biblical. Don't co-sign for nobody. A couple months ago, my son, now I didn't buy my son not one, 2 vehicles, 2 cars, cash. Okay. The first one he sold, the second one he got into an accident. It wasn't his fault, but my baby boy needed somebody. He needed a car. And I said, you know what, that money that they paid you out on this car, you should take it, because, stop getting these used cars, take it and put it down on another car. And when I tell you, it took him weeks and weeks and weeks. And he was just like, Mom, please, 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 can you co-sign? Please, 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 please. I will die for my children. I promise you, I will die for my kids. But I ain't co-signing for they monkey asses. Ain't gonna do it. Ain't gonna do it. Ain't gonna do it. I'm not co-signing for them. I ain't gonna do it. So I pray, I've taught them credit, and I taught them credit health and all that stuff, and I pray that he continues to keep his stuff on time, but I'll never co-sign. I'm not going to do it. Just not going to do it. How long does it take for your report to show payments? It all depends on the company, right? So typically it'll take, about maybe that 30 days after you open up that account. But everybody is different. So I have a Tesla. Okay. I have a Tesla, which I absolutely hate. I absolutely hate the fact that I have a Tesla. Um, and Tesla doesn't report my payments. Why? Because it costs them to report your payments to the bureau. Now, if I were late on my Tesla, they would report it negatively. But they don't bother to give you that good credit that comes with a car note. This was actually good for me when I was purchasing another house, because it was cool for my debt to income ratio that this Tesla wasn't reporting on my credit. However, if I had challenged credit, I may have been able to use it. So back after bankruptcy, I think. Was it after bankruptcy? No, this was before bankruptcy. When we were trying to stimulate our credit, we got one of them like raggedy low, high interest car loans. Maybe it was after no, it was before bankruptcy. It was after we purchased our house and we got into some financial issues, financial problems. We were trying to stimulate our credit score, and we got one of them really, really bad car loans, and it was all for naught. Had this high ass interest, all for naught, because we were trying to stimulate our credit and they weren't reporting it to the credit bureaus. So you will have sometimes credit companies or finance companies that won't report. They won't report because it costs them every time they report your credit to the credit bureaus. Okay. But don't get it twisted. If you do become late, they will report. Trust. Okay. Beautifully Melanated said, I was told to pay a collection account as a settlement. Not sure if this is best. Also, when paying on a credit card, if you pay the full balance each month or pay it all but 30%. All right, let's take the first question. That's a good question. Go ahead and go back. Keep that up. Keep that one up. I was told to pay a collection account as a settlement. Now, if you are going to pay it, okay. So, because there's three things with this. Number one, I would try to do a pay for delete, because you don't want that bad boy on your credit report. Okay. So if you do a pay for delete, then it removes it from your credit report, and then it'll help your credit. Here's the thing about that. If you have an old collection, and I talk about this in my books and in my online training, okay? I have an online training, a credit repair training, credit repair masterclass, which, oh, by the way, if you take this, you become a certified credit expert. You get a certification. There's modules and there's a lot. You got tests and everything to really help you to increase your credit score. Okay. That's in the Grow Your Money Club. That's in the Grow Your Money Club. If you want to become a certified credit expert and then have a business where you're repairing credit, you can do that inside the Grow Your Money Club. Okay. So the first thing I want to address is I was told to pay a collection as a settlement. Okay. First, you want to do a pay for delete. Okay. It's the first thing you want to do. How you do a pay for delete? You write a letter. The letter is inside this book. Okay. You can get this book on Amazon. All right. So if you don't do if they say they're not going to do a pay for delete, for me, if it hasn't reported in 2 years, then it's not really impacting your credit score that greatly. It is impacting your credit score, but not that greatly. You may just want to just ride that thing out, thug it out until it falls off, because it's going to fall off in 7 years. So I don't know how old that collection is, but you may want to ride it out because it might not be hurting your credit score. Okay. So that's number two. You might just not want to do anything to it. Okay. If you're in a situation where you're trying to get financing for a loan and they say, we need that paid off. Okay. So either they're going to do one of three things. They're going to add this as a debt, as a payment. So say your collection is $5,000. They're going to add 10% of that collection onto your payment. So 10% of $5,000 is what? $500? So they're going to add that to your debt to income ratio as an outgoing payment. So what I normally tell people to do, if I'm telling them to pay it off, I'm telling them, then you call and you get a settlement letter from the collection agency. And you say, I can only do $25 a month. Okay. And then now you have a collection letter from that collection agency. Now you give that to your loan officer and you say, no, my payment is not $500 a month. It's $25 a month. And now that's reduced your debt to income ratio significantly. Okay. So I wouldn't necessarily pay it off if you don't have to, if it's an old credit that's getting ready to fall off. Okay. So, paying down a collection as a settlement, even if you pay it off, or if you pay it as a settlement, it's going to actually drop your credit score if it hasn't reported in the last 2 years. You know why? Because then it becomes a paid collection, and now it's reporting currently. Before, it wasn't reporting because remember what I told you. They have to pay to report to the credit bureaus every month. So a lot of them stop reporting at a certain time. If they know that if they can't get you, if you're not going to pay, they stop reporting. Okay. You paying it off because you want to just be a good steward. Now you did what's called waking up the dead. Now you've woken up the dead. You've paid off this credit. This collection. And now it's paid, but it's a paid collection, which is a current paid collection, which could actually drop your credit score. Okay. Also, when paying on a credit card, go back. Also, when paying on a credit card, if you pay the full balance each month or pay it to all but 30%, the sweet spot, the thing, like I said, utilization is stimulation. Okay. So you want to have something, and this is only if you're trying to stimulate your credit. This is only if you're trying to stimulate your credit. The best thing to do is pay off your credit card because credit card yields compound interest. Einstein said compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Those who know about it, they earn from it. I earn compound interest. I have my money in investments that yield me compound interest. Those who don't, they pay it. Most of us who have credit cards, they're paying compound interest. So when you're leaving a balance on your credit card every month, you're paying compounded interest on that interest, on that payment. Okay. So if you do not want to leave a balance on there, only if you're trying to stimulate your credit score for one reason or another. I'm trying to get a car, I'm trying to get a house or something like that. Other than that, pay your credit card. Okay. Pay the balance. Okay. If you don't use it though, you can then lose it. If you've had a credit card and you're not using it, every now and then, because you got to use it, they will close your credit card. And that's going to hurt you even more than if you close your credit card yourself. Okay. So that's going to drop your score. Why? Because now you're going to lose your age of that credit card account. All right. Who's next? Let's go to the next question. I had a bankruptcy that is now done. I'm getting credit card offers from Capital One, but the interest is very high. What are your thoughts? Lovely JR. Thank you for that question. And oh, by the way, I actually have a training inside the Grow Your Money Club on how to increase your credit score after bankruptcy. You could take that as an a la carte training. I think it's like $29, or you could take which I would take the whole Grow Your Money Club training, because you could actually, the first 7 days of the Grow Your Money Club is actually free. First 7 days is free. So you can kind of go around and see all the training, but I think you're going to be so overwhelmed by all the really good training in there, you're not going to want to stop. So it's a monthly 12-month roadmap inside the Grow Your Money Club. Definitely want to do it. Okay. So I say this, take what you can get right now. Take what you can get right now, sweetheart. Even if the credit let me tell you something. After I filed bankruptcy, I had gotten a credit card from Applied Bank. I ain't never even heard of this credit card company. Now, this was a secured credit card, and I hated it. I still hate this card to this day, because they charge me a $10 fee every month, even when I don't use it. So they get this payment every single month. I kept it. Why did I keep it? Because it gave me the length. It was the first credit card that I had outside the bankruptcy, which was in 2009, which was 15 years ago. So this is a 15-year card that gave me that length, which is what I needed to get my credit score, to keep my credit score high, which is 15% of my credit pie. So take what you can get, right? Stimulate your credit score. Continue to use your credit, continue to use it. And as your credit grows, as you're rebuilding, then you're going to get other credit card offers that have lower interest rates, or you'll be able to negotiate the interest rate down on this card. You know how do you negotiate the credit card, the interest rate on your credit cards? You just call them and ask them to reduce the interest. And they could say one or two things. Yes or no. Yeah. So that's as simple as it is. That's as simple as it is. Who else? Okay, you already a member of the Grow Your Money Club. Perfect. Nicole said Capital One. What's up, Nicole? That's my girl. What's crack-a-lacking? Capital One was my first credit card after filing bankruptcy. That was my second credit card after filing bankruptcy. So, yep. All right. So I was told by my producer that I had to go to another commercial. So really quick, I want to introduce you to the Grow Your Money Club. Let me just tell you a little bit about it real quick. Have you joined the Grow Your Money Club yet? If not,
Why not? The Grow Your Money Club is a comprehensive program designed to take you through the complete wealth building journey. We don't just offer random courses, we guide you along a clear path, starting with fixing your credit and becoming a certified credit expert, to building your business, increasing your cash flow, diversifying your portfolio, and ultimately letting your money work for you. With over 30 trainings designed to increase your net worth, you get to either purchase the trainings individually or go through the 12-month roadmap. Here are just a few of the courses. From campus to cash flows, this is teaching your children to become real estate investors. The wealth map training shows you how to eliminate your debt, increase your credit, and diversify your revenue streams. You can learn to write your book using ChatGPT. Learn how to build your online community. What about 8 ways to make money using AI? Oh, and here's 7 online revenue streams to fund your $1 million dream. How about learning how to purchase tax deeds or land banks? What about getting started in government contracting? If you're a rookie, the Real Estate for Rookies training has everything you need. The Business Blueprint training will help you build your business foundation, get business credit, get business funding, and learn how to pay yourself so that you can scale your business to the next level. Or perhaps you want to create jaw-dropping video content using CapCut, Midjourney, and ChatGPT. There are so many trainings and masterclasses within the Grow Your Money Club, and I also drop 1 new training per month. You do not want to miss out on this opportunity to invest in yourself, because guess what? You are your biggest commodity. You are your biggest investment. Join the Grow Your Money Club today.
Yes, Hunty. So you have a ton of resources within the Grow Your Money Club. So all of these things that we're talking about here are in depth in the Grow Your Money Club. And like I said, you get to become a certified credit expert and get a credit repair business. So let's talk about, we're going to talk about business credit in a minute. I just wanted to just say really quick, the best credit card for building wealth, or building credit, excuse me, is you want to look at this. And this is for you, for maybe you don't have bad credit, or maybe you can get, okay, I just want to check, see those comment. Maybe you can get a regular credit card. Here's what you want to look for, okay? You want to look for a credit card that has no annual fees, okay? My American Express, my platinum card, it does have annual fees, but it comes with a lot of rewards, right? So that's the second thing you want to look at. You want to look at credit cards that actually have rewards. So the amount of money that you spend on these credit cards, you can get whole vacations, you can get free trips. You can get, I remember when I was coming down to DC, I was staying at the Watergate Hotel, just on my points, the luxury, you know what I mean? So you can get a lot of different rewards, a lot of different opportunities and options with rewards. So you want to make sure that they have rewards, if possible. Again, the low interest rates, on average, we're looking at 29.9% interest rate. And I wish inside the wealth map training, I really break down how to determine what that compound interest looks like and how much it could impact. They're inside the wealth map training in the Grow Your Money Club. I talk about how to create a really, really strong and succinct budget, how to reduce your outgoing expenses, right? How to make more money, how to invest more money without having to make more money. How do I invest my money without having to make more money? So I show you ways that you can cut the fat, ways that you can cut the interest, and the things that you can do to invest. Oh my God, it's so freaking amazing. So that's actually one of my favorite training, my most favorite trainings. And then if you're just starting fresh, you may want to get a secured credit card. Okay. So that's something that you want to get. So let's talk about business credit, because I know that you mentioned business credit, Sunshine. This is what you need to do for business credit. I'm gonna give you the quick and dirty. Okay. The first thing you need to do is set up an entity, an LLC or an EIN, or LLC or a corporation, S corp, LLC, or whatever. That's the first thing you need to do. Then you need to do an EIN. Okay. Then you need to open up a business bank account, because your business is not legit until you have a bank account. I always talk about having your business too legit to quit. So making sure that you have a business bank account, because you're not going to get any business credit without a business bank account. Okay. And then get a business credit card. You can get a business credit card within weeks of getting establishing your entity. Now, again, these are things I talk about inside the Grow Your Money Club. I actually have a business blueprint training that shows you how to set up your entity, how to get funding, how to establish your business credit, and then how to get money so that you can pay yourself and continue to pay yourself with a little bit amount of money. But I show you how to pay your salary with a little, it's just a little secret, top secret. I can't say it online. I can't say it live, but it's a little secret, a little tip that I used and to pay myself to be able to qualify to purchase real estate. It's a really dope way. That's in the business blueprint training. That's inside the Grow Your Money Club. Okay. All right. So that's how you do the business credit. And then after that, you want to set up like your net 30 accounts. Those are your staples. Those are your all of your like your what are those called? Your vendor accounts. So those are net 30s. Okay. Let me see. Let me answer some more questions. I owe 20K on a credit card and my income decreased. How shall I proceed? Continue paying your credit card. One of the things my daughter asked the other day, she said, "Mom, I got a call from this consumer credit counseling agency. Do you guys remember the consumer credit counseling agencies? Those are the people who will negotiate the debt on your behalf. They are the absolute worst. Do not sign up for a consumer credit account agency. They are looked at like a Chapter 13 bankruptcy when we're looking at lending, okay? Because what they do is it's basically you're telling the lender, I couldn't handle all of my debt myself. And so I need a third party to come in and manage my debt for me. And so that's just like a Chapter 13 bankruptcy is when they reestablish your accounts. That's what the consumer credit counseling agency does. And a lot of times you have to be behind on those accounts in order for them to negotiate with you. So, and then a lot of times what I've seen they suck. A lot of times what I've seen is they miss payments. So you paying them and they forget to pay or so, I don't know, but they always missing payments. So they're actually jacking up your credit even more. So they're closing all your credit cards, which is 30% of your credit score and 15% for your length. So you have to close all your credit cards. They're negotiating them on your behalf. They're supposed to be making payments. They're late on the payments. And then you end up getting negatively impacted. So what you can do, Sky, is you can actually call and negotiate. You can tell them that you have a hardship. You can tell them that maybe you're unemployed. And I know there was some COVID relief not too long ago. There's certain that you can definitely call before you decide not to make a payment or you decide to do something different. Always call. Always err on the side of trying to negotiate anything. Okay, because there's two things that they could tell you. What are those two things? I know y'all know there's two things. When you make a phone call and you try to negotiate, there's two things that they could say. They could say yes, they could say no. So always err on the side of trying to find a resolution directly. Yes, precious jewels. Yes, yes or no. Yes or no. That's it. So those are the things that you can actually do directly with your credit cards. Okay. I was talking to a good girlfriend this morning, and one of the things she was saying, because I know a lot of people's fear of even buying houses. Well, what if I lose my job? She was saying the fact that I have a home has actually saved me because I lost my job. I don't have the money to pay my mortgage, but guess what? They have departments. They have workout departments inside mortgage companies that will allow you to hardship companies or hardship departments that will allow you to skip paying your mortgage for X amount of time. They'll put the balance on the back of your mortgage. So you can call and do that. You can negotiate that too. Had she been renting from somebody, if she didn't have that money in by the 7th, they would have given her a notice to pay her quit. But just merely the fact that she owns her home, she's able to not one, negotiate with her mortgage company, or number two, if she needed to sell it, she got equity, she could sell it and then she could be cool. So owning a home gives you way more options. When people talk about, oh, you never want to purchase a property because you never really own it, it's not an asset. That's bullish. It is an asset. Owning a property is an asset, especially when it's growing in equity and you're able to use that equity. This is stuff that you can pass on to your children and your children's children. Okay. So it is an asset. So I want to let you know that. Okay. So I think that's it. That's all I really wanted to really talk to you. We're rounding up on our almost hour, and hopefully I've given you some nuggets that you could take away. This is always important to me, so that when you walk away from here, that you're getting some information that you could use, that you could walk away with, that you could take. Make sure that you share this information because people need to know. I didn't answer your questions, Sophia. What was Sophia's question? Let me see. What was your question, Sophia? I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean not to answer your question. The longest account that I had on my credit report was dropped off and it lowered my credit score. What caused it to drop off? It was 15% is your length, right? So if it dropped off, what caused it to drop off? Your credit? So was it closed? So the longest account that I had on my credit report was dropped off. Okay. So was it a closed account that dropped off? If it was closed, so if it's a good account and you paid it off, it only stays on your credit for 10 years. Okay. So a good credit, maybe it's a car payment or something like that. It'll stay on your credit for 10 years. And after that, it will drop off. A negative account will stay on your credit for 7 years. Okay. It was that. Did I answer your question? Okay, Sophia. She said, okay, I answered the question. Okay. Cool. Always, I want to tell you again about your network being your net worth just inside of the Net 7 Collective, which I have tonight. Let me just show you people that we have inside the Net 7 Collective are people like Dr. Emma Fraser. She is sisters of one of the biggest thought leaders, and she's a brilliant, brilliant woman. She has a Harvard PhD. She is so dope. When I tell you I love her, so wise, 80 years old, Harvard PhD, very wealthy woman, but even more wealthy in her wise words. But this is what she
said.
When
I joined the Net 7, I had no idea of Constance connection. I met a group of women that changed my life. But Constance showed me when you get one-on-one coaching with her, you get a certain amount of those. You meet these women. We learned about government contracts. We learned how to build wealth. We learned about real estate. And we built a sisterhood that sustains me to this day. So I'm telling you, if you want to rock your life, if you want to grow your brain, if you want to upscale your brand, you can get all of that with today's purchase of the great. And I tell her, her name Constance is who she is. She is constant. She is resilient. And you will feel like you're the only one in a group of women because she has an intimate touch when it comes to knowing her clients.
Yes. When I tell you I love my daughter is my bitch. That's her back there recording. That's my daughter Kaya. She know more about my programs than I do. She can sell me better than anybody. I love it because she really believes in what it is that I do. But if you're interested in joining a community of Black women from all over the country that do some amazing, amazing things, go to net7bbs.com. And for those of you who went here last week, my phone was down. I'm going to reach out to you today, and hopefully we can schedule a one-on-one where we can kind of talk about to see if this will be a good fit for you. Okay. That's all I got. I'm getting ready to be on the next podcast in about an hour with the ladies of Fly Nubian Money. I think I might be hosting again. So y'all come on over there and we're going to talk about, some good stuff. But tomorrow I will see you. I was watching a lot of stuff on CNN and on Fox and on MSNBC this morning. And it's a lot of shit brewing right now. And I just didn't have the capacity to deal with all that crap about what's going on. But maybe we'll talk about some stuff tomorrow. But other than that, listen, every day, I like to try to bring you something that has value. Okay. If you want to get more information, if you want to learn how to be a certified credit expert or any of the other things that I'm offering, go to the growyourmoney.club and you can learn all this stuff, even way more in depth. If you like the information I gave you, if you think I gave you some information of value, just think about what you get inside these private programs. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Okay. So I appreciate you hanging out with me because, I know you could be anywhere in the world, but yet you choose to be here with me. And I appreciate it. So take care and God bless. I'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same bad channel.